Hey, welcome to the channel. My name is Eric, and today we're going to talk about something that I'm seeing in the markets, that whether you're a homeowner, do-it-yourselfer, or a dealer, a stocking dealer that's floor planning, you may want to listen up because this is what's coming down the pipe. All right, so continue watching. So welcome back to the channel. We do the weekday show Monday through Friday, and it's available on podcast or video. And then I put out these educational videos, repair videos during the week as well. And this is one of them that I think you need to hear, because this is a trend I've been watching now for at least 3 to 4 months. And, it's going to affect all the markets, but more so the farm and garden side. And what am I talking about? Well, pre-COVID, sales were going along pretty good. And we had good people in government, and we had sales, and everything it wasn't the greatest, but it was okay, right? And then we went through the last 4 years of, the end of COVID, post-COVID. And what ended up happening was during COVID, and I talked about this in this morning's show, that during COVID, everything shut down, right? It had to be essential workers only. So that meant the production of new equipment stopped also. And what ended up happening was a shift in the market. And the shift in the market was all of a sudden, now that you couldn't get a brand new piece of equipment, those pre-owned in really nice shape were bringing more than what is sold for new. And I'm not exaggerating that, because I know that a couple guys that I know personally that end up buying used tractors in the past 2 years paid more for that used tractor with zero guarantee than they paid for their prior tractor a couple of years earlier before COVID hit. So what ended up happening is the shift went to now post, right? And post-COVID was, all right, the economics suck, right? And this is going to affect your homeowner, if you're a homeowner or do-it-yourselfer, and this is really going to affect you if you are a floor planning dealer, and how you want to go about stocking parts and equipment for the next couple of years. The trend right now is manufacturers across the board. They saw this as a money cow, right? During COVID, all their excess inventory that they had, they cleaned out, right? Everything was going on back order, they couldn't get it, et cetera, et cetera. But they got a little greedy. And once post-COVID happened and they got people back to work, now all of a sudden, all these orders that you guys that are floor planning, you have to pre-order your stuff sometimes a year in advance, right? And you were putting in orders through COVID and nothing was coming in, so you put another order in for another bunch, thinking that the trend was going to stay the same. And it did for like 1 year out from COVID, right? The market was still adjusting. All right, so that brings us to present day. Present day is right now, we are looking at almost 40% markup over pre-COVID on everything across the board. I've heard you guys that have gone to the Lowe's, Home Depot, and them, of how you've looked at the riding lawnmowers per se and said that the prices have spiked, and it's crazy. And it did. It's not your imagination. These companies, and it's not your local dealers. I'm going to tell you that right now. Do not get onto your local dealers because it's not their fault. But the industry leaders decided, let's jump it by 38 to 40%. And they dumped that onto their dealers. Now, if you're floor planning, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because when you're floor planning farm equipment, lawn and garden equipment, and that stuff, you're taking a loan out, right? And you have to pay for that equipment. And then the terms of the loan, usually through GE, is as you sell, you hope to clear out your inventory, that you will make some money in the end, right? That's the goal, is moving equipment and making money. And for some of you guys that had excess inventory during COVID, you guys made out pretty good, right? Because you started seeing the market, so you started jacking up your new stuff. But now it brings it to now. Post-COVID, people are back to work. And two things are taking place. One is, now all those pre-orders that you guys had done, or that the farm equipment and lawn and garden equipment dealers put in, are now coming in. And they're coming in over and over because you kept pre-ordering, because they kept being on back order, and you had customers that wanted those, right? And now they're coming, but you don't have the customers. Because what also happened on the customers' end, inflation hit. Everything went up in price. The disposable income went way down. They don't have the extra cash to do that stuff with. So what ends up happening is it's going to put the screws to you. And the only one that we all can blame is the ones above. You know, hey, if you can do it and get away with it, I guess, you know, I always say the markets are whatever the people are willing to pay. So, in saying that, this is what I see over the next year, 2 and 3 years, is prices are going to come down. But the problem is, if you're looking at buying a brand new riding lawnmower from your local Cub Cadet dealer, per se, or, you know, Husqvarna, those guys got locked in at the 38% markup. They're stuck with it. And so they're not going to see relief until they can get rid of what they've already bought and have on the lot. And there's two thoughts that come to mind. One is sell just over cost, get rid of it so that you can enjoy some of the benefits coming down through from your next pre-order being a lot cheaper, or sit on it and pay interest and possibly put you under. Now, for the homeowner, what does that mean? It means if I were you, I would wait a while if you're looking at doing a major purchase like a riding lawnmower, tiller, or what have you, because those prices are going to come down. They have to come down. There's no way that it can stay at this stupid number. And if you buy now, like many of my friends did, you're going to regret it, because 2 or 3 years down the road, that same piece of equipment now is going to be selling for less than what you bought yours for. And to trade yours in is going to be worth less as well, right? So if you can hold off, hold off. If not, if you're a floor planning dealer, mom and pop, you know, family run type dealership, you know, you guys know what you're doing. You've been doing it for years. If it were me, I think I would clear the inventory out of selling at or just above cost, just to get those loans paid for. And when the manufacturing lowers that price, you're going to be the last one that feels it, right? Because you have to clear your inventory out before you can bring in any more. Where a lot of your big box stores will see the reduction right off the bat. And they'll lower theirs even more, pricing you out of the market. So I just thought that'd be something for you guys to look into. Don't take my word for it. I'm hopeful that, I mean, this is going to continue into 2025. We have the elections coming up in November. If we stay with what we have, it's going to be more of the same. Hopefully, if we get something new, then maybe our futures might look a lot better than they did this last 4 years. On that note, you guys have a great day and a great weekend.